MyImpact Challenge is a curriculum and community impact project from the Bill of Rights Institute. Through its digital-first, dedicated online platform, students anywhere can work at their own pace or with a facilitated cohort. In the curriculum, the students learn through three pillars: entrepreneurship, policy, and philanthropy or charity. They apply this learning to projects of their own design, intended to have positive impacts on their communities. As you can imagine, the demonstration, what we call the citizenship fair, looks a little different this year. What you will see here are some of the students presenting some of their work. These clips have been edited for time and clarity, but we hope you get a good sense of MyImpact Challenge from the perspective of these students. So with that, here are some of the projects of the 2020 MyImpact Challenge.
Hi, I'm Emily, and for my project, I donated books and book sets to my library to help promote meaningful discussions. This summer, I attended Constitutional Academy, and I was able to speak with outstanding students from around the country about topics that really matter. We had amazing discussions about history, politics, culture, and philosophy, and I learned a ton. So, as you all know, right now we live in an increasingly polarized world where people have trouble discussing their beliefs. We see friendships broken over political disagreements, and censorship, and people who stay silent because they're afraid of being ostracized. As I reflected on my experience at Constitutional Academy, I realized how remarkable it was that we were able to have such deep, passionate conversations and yet have such a positive educational experience. We would completely disagree with one another, but we were still able to treat each other not even just like respectful acquaintances, but like friends. That was inspiring to me. I realized that I wanted to create these kinds of discussions more often among the youth in my area. This became the heart of my project. To create a place for these meaningful conversations, I decided to donate sets of books to my library. Why books? Because books provide the perfect springboard into discussing these topics, and they put everyone on the same page. I also decided to start a book club so that I could have these discussions with my friends. So far, I've learned a lot from this project. I started working on it during the summer, and it's still in progress. I proposed a project, wrote donation requests, collected donations, and created a book list. I didn't know how to do any of those things, so I got to learn all of them along the way. One important thing I learned early on was how to be flexible and adjust my project. I reached out to and was rejected by 2 different public libraries because apparently COVID makes donations tricky. But thankfully, I was able to shift the venue of my project, and my proposition was accepted by my school library. Our school secretary, Mrs. Anderson, taught me how to record donations using Excel and how to do a remote deposit, and that was really cool. I was able to form a book club with my friends and lead our first discussion, which was an amazing experience. It taught me a lot about leading, but even more about scheduling. Getting a group of high schoolers the same book at the same time is tricky. It made me even more excited to be able to have sets of books ready to use. Fortunately, everything eventually came together, and we had a great discussion. We're meeting again this month. My favorite thing I learned was how willing people are to support this cause. Thanks to generous donors, I collected almost $450 in donations. I've donated 36 books to my school, most of them book sets, and I have $100 left to spend. Sometimes when I was asking for donations, I'd mention school or books, but when I mentioned the Constitution and freedom and discussing these topics that are so important, people would light up in a completely different way. I'm genuinely excited to tell them that we now have book sets that will spark the discussions these donors were so excited about. Not just for my friends and me, but passionate students that will come through my school. I have loved this opportunity to learn and to see firsthand how many people there are who still care about freedom of speech and continuing the legacy of the Bill of Rights. I'm excited to continue this project with more books, thank yous, and even scheduling. Most of all, I'm excited to have these discussions with my book club, to share my perspective and to learn from the perspectives of others. Even though I'm sure my friends and I definitely won't agree all the time, we can still be friends. I believe that as we strive to express our beliefs and to understand and learn from the beliefs of others, that we will be able to foster greater compassion and be able to find joy in being united, each in our own way, to make the world a better place. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sophia and I'm a 17-year-old homeschooler from the suburbs of Chicago. For my civic engagement project, I chose to focus on food insecurity. Food insecurity is defined as the state of being without reliable access to a sufficient quantity of affordable, nutritious food. And according to a 2019 survey, over 10% of people in the U.S. suffered from food insecurity. This number has dramatically increased with COVID-19, and my state, Illinois, alone has seen a 46% increase in food insecurity. So, food insecurity is a massive, massive problem, but I have taken 2 avenues to contribute towards ending it through my projects. This is my 4th year running Charitable Fibers, an organization I founded to utilize the skills of my fellow crafters to raise money to support local charities who help those who are food insecure. Charitable Fibers is based on Facebook, where I manage a small shop selling our handmade items. All items are made using donated materials, and all proceeds are donated to the charities we support. In 2020, I added masks to our shop for purchase and produced 40 masks to donate to our charities. To date, Charitable Fibers has raised over $1,400. Our funds have supported the Night Ministry of Chicago, which provides shelter, basic medical care, and meals to those experiencing homelessness, as well as operating a shelter for LGBTQ+ youth. We also support Miss Carly's, a Rockford organization dedicated to feeding the hungry and helping people recover from trafficking and addiction. I am honored to be able to contribute to these organizations and have learned so much through this project. I've gained leadership, organization, and communication skills, and realized that advocacy work is my calling. The second approach I am taking to support those experiencing food insecurity is Suppers for Security. I recently received a grant to organize a service project and educate local youth about food insecurity. My project, scheduled to begin at the end of February, will produce more than 350 sack suppers for the homeless people the Night Ministry serves, as well as helping provide 35 youth with the skills and understanding to become food advocates. My hope is that by supporting people and providing their basic needs, a new population will be empowered to contribute to our democracy. I plan to continue these projects and my work to eradicate food insecurity. Thank you for watching. Bye!
My name is Erin Cochran, and I am a program specialist at the Bill of Rights Institute. As part of the programs team, I had the pleasure to work with the students of Constitutional Academy in the summer of 2020 on their MyImpact Challenge student projects. BRI's mission is to educate, engage, and empower individuals, and that starts with our youth. The following students have focused their projects on youth education, and as a former teacher myself, I know how important it is to start with our children. So enjoy.
Hello, my name is Katie Frometh, and I did my project on reaching gifted youth. So I chose gifted youth and gifted education because both of my parents have taught a gifted magnet program that both my brother and I participate in. There's a lack of gifted resources allocated for teens especially. And as I'm majoring in elementary education, I thought this would be a good way for me to kind of dip my toe into the world of education. We need to be able to focus on those who excel, because those who excel are going to be leading our community. And if they aren't reaching their full potential, our community isn't reaching our full potential. So this is important because a lot of high schools don't have any resources for gifted students. Students are getting burnt out. They're expected to go to the best colleges and do extracurriculars and do well in school, but there's no way for students to get help or get a connection to gifted resources and see other students that are going through the same problems that they're going through. Most students that I've talked to have said that being gifted in high school doesn't matter, and that all we do is fill out ALPs, which are advanced learning plans. That's all our school really does for gifted students, which is incredibly frustrating, and it just makes being gifted even more hard. Moving forward, I thought the best way to solve this would be to connect the youth. So very few organizations, especially in my state, help with gifted education, and there needs to be a way to get the youth involved. So I developed a website and a social media platform. I also am going to be joining the Colorado Gifted Education Association as a youth member, and just to kind of get myself connected to other students who are concerned about the same thing and just kind of broaden my horizons a little bit. Having a website allows for easy communication, an ability to see upcoming events, and it's just less intimidating. There's no face-to-face contact, and it makes it just a lot easier. We also have our Instagram page, which I developed, and through our Pikes Peak Gifted Association, which is nearby. I reached out to the Pikes Peak Gifted Association, and I've been working with them a little bit on getting involved and getting them involved with teens and gifted students, and just kind of planning some things with them. So I chose Instagram because so many teens use Instagram, and I thought it would be a good way to promote what other people are doing in their communities, projects or artwork, and just kind of encourage others and inspire them. So connecting youth first through social media is really important, and if there's enough interest, I would like to start potentially a group or a board for the Pikes Peak Gifted Association for youth. So I've reached out to several people, and in the spring, if COVID restrictions allow it, the Pikes Peak Gifted Association will have a parent meeting, and the parents will bring their children, and the teens that are interested are going to do gifted activities with the children. So I learned so much during this project. Probably the main thing is to be open and adaptable to new ideas. Especially during COVID, we have to be flexible, and just being able to do things virtually is important. I also learned to just take initiatives and see what happens, because you never know what would happen unless you do something. So in conclusion, I'm hoping to develop a board for the Pikes Peak Gifted Association through social media, promotion, and potentially start a new youth branch. I want to target the next generation of students to help them reach their full potential.
I am working to address the problem of inequality in education and lack of food for low-income youth. This matters to me because many kids, due to COVID-19, aren't getting food at school anymore as they are out of school and at home, and they rely on school lunch programs. I decided to work on this when I was out of school due to the coronavirus. I realized that I was very lucky to have access to computers. It was a smooth transition, and I had all the stuff I needed to be successful. But I realized many students didn't in my area, and that's why I decided to work on this project to help many kids get the items they need to succeed. Hi, with the Bill of Rights Institute, I have continued working on my nonprofit Balance Boxes as my impact project. Balance Boxes is a youth-led registered 501c3 that provides students in low-income communities with activities, games, books, toys, all related to a theme. So far, 6,000 kids have been helped, and we have expanded to 24 nations and 20 states. Balance Boxes has partnered with 124 companies to provide snacks and games. We are growing even more. Behind me, you can see a bunch of the boxes we have created. If you follow me over here, you'll see some boxes with toys filled and ready to go out to kids. We also have a bunch of snacks from companies that have donated, like these, and a bunch of National Geographic magazines, as well as kid-friendly books. This project has been growing a lot, and the Bill of Rights Institution has helped me take off with that.
Thanks so much for taking a look at some of the projects the students worked on this year. For more, check out billofrightsinstitute.org and look out for MyImpact Challenge. Thanks.